is it a good idea to spend just a little bit more money in your home? Hi everyone, it's interior designer Carol Gilman. Let's discover interior design. In this video, we are going to talk about what you can think about the next time you have to make a decision about choosing one less expensive option over something that may cost just a little bit more. And I'll give you 6 different reasons why it may be a great idea for you to spend just a little bit more money so that you feel good about that decision. One of the first reasons you may want to spend just a little bit more is if that more expensive option will make your life easier. We can think of different smaller areas in our home where it's nice to maybe have a soap dispenser that's touchless, or maybe even a faucet that is touchless. Or we can even think about if we are changing out the countertops in our kitchen and going with a more expensive option of a solid surface material compared to one that is like a tile. It will make your life easier when it will just be much easier to clean and care for. Another reason where we may want to spend more money is if that more expensive option will last longer. And we're talking about quality. So when we spend some more money on a nice quality piece of furniture, for instance, say a sofa, and we spend more money on a quality piece that's made out of really good materials and nice cushions and really nice fabric, that piece of furniture is going to be around and last longer. And when we are talking about sofas, we can also think about the fabric choices. I always recommend spending just a little bit more money on a fabric that will last longer, that will be more durable. And in the long run, that will also make your life easier. Another example where spending more money will help something last longer is when you have your beautiful artwork professionally framed. And so we are talking about pieces that are on paper, like a watercolor painting or drawings or beautiful prints. And when you spend that extra money to really preserve that piece of artwork, it will just really protect it and it will last longer. A professional framer will be using quality materials, acid-free papers, and all sorts of things that go into creating a professionally framed piece of art that we can really be proud of and be able to enjoy for as long as possible. A third reason to choose a more expensive option would be that it will fit better or even look better in our home. One example of that I can think of are window coverings. So when we spend just a little bit more money on getting custom window coverings, maybe custom blinds, where they are going to fit perfectly in our windows and the style will make sense with our home, makes a really big difference. Also, think about draperies. We can certainly go out and buy beautiful draperies for our home, but there is this beautiful thing about having draperies that look good with your windows and in your room, where the length is the right length, and you will be planning everything out where the placement of the rod will be. Everything will be planned out in a way where it will just make sense with your style and with the size of your windows. Next, if this is just for a smaller area, or maybe it's just a smaller item, why not just spend a little bit more on the one that you like better? One example of this is from a comment I received on my video on chevron and herringbone patterns. And this viewer shared how they chose a chevron pattern to place around their fireplace surround because it would give it dimension. Well, that is a small area where maybe we can spend a little bit more on a neater pattern, but where it's going to really make a big impact and add variety to our room. Another example of this could be a larger area, maybe like a backsplash. And maybe there is some way to choose a more decorative pattern or a more beautiful stone or tile that you like for that backsplash, where it may be a little bit more money, but it's going to be well worth it just because of the beauty that it's going to add. We can also think of maybe buying a new light fixture for our bathroom. That's just one light. And if we can find a light that we maybe like a little bit better, well, it's worth it just to spend a little bit extra money on that one item that we're going to buy. Or it's really wonderful when we can just make little changes like updating maybe builder grade cabinet hardware. So when we take some time to look for hardware that maybe matches our style a little bit better, or maybe it's a little bit higher quality, it's going to make a difference in how wonderful those cabinets will look and feel to us. Another thing that you can think about doing is spending a little extra money on throw pillows or a throw blanket, say for your sofa or bed. This is something that designers do. So when maybe a designer is creating a custom sofa for their client and a lot of money is being spent on this beautiful high quality sofa as well as the fabrics that go into and on that sofa. But one thing they can spend a little extra money on is buying a yard or two of even more luxurious fabric that they can create into throw pillows. So it just adds this little piece of this little area of luxury that will create even more beauty on that sofa. Something else that you can think about is if the more expensive option is really going to express your design style more, express what you love. And I think about artwork as a good example of this. If you find original artwork that really does speak to you, it's really important to go with that, to spend that extra money to buy something original and beautifully handmade from an artist. Even if you look for throw pillows, for instance, that have a pattern on them, but they're designed from an artist, that's better than something that may be more mass-produced that we may find in a store. Or think about a beautiful piece of furniture, an antique piece of furniture, or something new, or a beautiful floor lamp or table lamp. All of those are really good reasons to maybe spend a little bit more because it's really going to be something that is going to give you joy. One more reason it may be beneficial to choose a more expensive option over a less expensive option is if that more expensive piece provides another function. One example of that is if you are looking for a place to add more seating, say in your living room or even in your bedroom, that will provide a place to sit as well as provide storage, is a really beneficial way to go and well worth that extra cost of spending just a bit more. So I'd love to find out from you when you splurged a little bit and spent a little bit more money and why you decided to do that over buying something less expensive. So please share that in the comments. And if you have any other ideas for us for reasons to spend just a little bit more money, please share that in the comments as well. Thanks so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Take care.